Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to show you how to make this cute baby chick cake topper perfect for Easter. So my chick is made out of white modelling paste that I coloured using food colouring paste, and I'll leave a link to everything that I've used in the description so you can take a closer look later. So here I'm making the body out of 20 grams of yellow modelling paste, which I've kneaded till pliable and formed into a ball. I'm now elongating that ball by rolling it between my hands, and you can see here it's going to a bit more of an egg shape now. Just going to taper the bottom in a little bit. So I'm just going to flatten the top where the head will go. There we go. And there you can see it's kind of curved at the edges and straight at the top and bottom. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just rolling my finger over the top part to make that little indent. So it's kind of where the chest leads up to the neck area. I hope you can see that there. So lastly, I'm just narrowing the left and right sides where the shoulders will be. Okay, so now we're going to make the feet, and I've got two really small balls of orange modelling paste, which I'm now forming into little tear shapes, and I'm just going to flatten them with my finger. Just make sure they're the same size, and then I'm going to use my knife just to make two cuts in each of the feet. So starting off with two little balls helps to ensure that you get the same size feet. There we go. So now I'm just going to use my fingers just to gently pinch and curve the little feet, the little toes, I suppose you could say. And then you just got to make sure that they are all the same size. Okay, so my feet are the same size. I'm just adding a little bit of clear alcohol to each foot before I stick them into position. So I'm using clear alcohol because it evaporates, not leaving a mark, but you could use edible glue if you prefer. So there they are in position. Lovely. So now I'm going to make the wings, and I've got, say, two just slightly smaller than a marble size balls of yellow modelling paste, which I'm again going to form into some tear shapes. And then once they are the same size and shape, I'm just going to flatten them with my finger. There we go. And then once I'm happy that the same size and shape again, I'm just using my Dresden tool just to score in some little grooves there on the narrow side of the wings. And then I'm just going to score in some lines from each of the grooves I've just made. I hope you can see that in the video. There we go. And now I'm just using some clear alcohol again just to stick my wings into position. So they're kind of close at the top there where we're going to stick them, and then you can position your wings in any way that you like. I wanted them to stick out a little bit. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to put the body aside while I make the head from 20 grams of yellow modelling paste. You can see I formed it into a ball, and then I'm gently flattening it, and then I'm just going to taper the top in a little bit. So I've kind of got a triangle shape without the point and the top. So now I'm going to use my finger, just gently flatten from like halfway up to the top there. It'll create a little bit of groove where the eyes will go. Hope you can see that there. Just going to show you. There we go. And then I'm doing the same underneath, just leaving a little bit of the front so you get a bit of a chin area, and then just flattening the back part where it will attach to the body. So this will give a little bit of a chin, curvy chin when it goes onto the body. And if you wanted to, you could also go around the sides, and that will give you a bit of a cheek as well. So there we go, just a little bit around each side. Okay. So lastly, I'm just tapering at the back there, just so it's not too wide when it goes onto the body. Right, so I'll pop my head into a flower former, just so it doesn't move around and it's easier for me to show you what I'm going to do next, which is make the holes for the eyes with the larger end of my bone tool. So we're working just where I made that indent earlier. I always do it slowly to make sure I don't put it in the wrong place or make one bigger than the other. Okay, so now I'm going to add two small balls of white paste into those sockets, and I'm just going to secure that with the bone tool. You can always use some clear alcohol or glue if you're not finding that they stick. And now I've just got the smaller end of my bone tool, and I'm going to create two further holes in the white paste. Just kind of bottom right and bottom left of the eye. And in those little holes, I'm going to pop some blue balls of modelling paste, and they're obviously smaller than the white, and secure them with the bone tool again. Okay, so now I've got 2 small balls of black modelling paste. I'm going to flatten them before I put them in the eyes. Just check for size, and also because black can also stain quite quickly, so you want to make sure it's okay before you pop them on. So just check for size like I just did, and then a little bit of clear alcohol, and you can just pop them into position. And also being already flat, you're not pressing into those eyes that you've just made. Okay, so lastly I'm going to add some black eyelashes, and I do that by using some tiny balls of black modelling paste and then just rolling it with my finger, and you see it tapers at both ends. But again, you want to make sure they're the right size first, and then make sure they're the same size as well. So just go ahead and just make your 2 eyelashes the same size, then add a little bit of clear alcohol around the edge of that white of the eye. Pop the eyelash into position, dry off your brush, and then you can use your brush just to shape it. So just curve it round. And then I'm just going to leave the left side there free because I'm going to curve that up later. So I'm just going to do the other eyelash now. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. It's quite effective, but it is very fiddly. So once they're both in position and looking the same, I'm just going to use my Dresden tool just to help flick up the edges there. And there we go, there's the eyelashes. So lastly, I'm just adding 2 tiny balls of white modelling paste for the eyes. You should be able to pick them up with a damp brush. And there, I'll put them about 1 o'clock, and I'm securing with the bone tool. Okay, so now I'm going to make the beak, and I've got a tiny ball of orange modelling paste, which I'm now going to form into a triangular shape, and you can see that it's narrow at one end, and where it goes to the point, it's a lot thicker. So now I'm just using a knife just to gently cut that in half, but not all the way, and that will form the beak. A little bit of clear alcohol, and I'm just going to stick that into position where it kind of protrudes out on the bottom of the face. So you can make your beak as big or as small as you want it to be. And once it's stuck into position, you can just use a dry brush just to help neaten it or shapen it in any way that you want it to be. I'm just using my Dresden tool here just to shape the top part. And there we go. Okay, so while we're here, I'm just going to add a little bit of pink blush edible dust to the cheeks. So you just pop a bit on the kitchen towel and then take off the excess and just gently apply it to the cheeks with a dusting brush. Again, you don't have to do this, but it's just a nice added touch. But do make sure you take the excess off before you apply, because you can put too much on and it's very difficult to take off. Okay, so that's the cheeks blushed. And now I'm going to add the head to the body. So if you struggle keeping the head in position, you could always add a dry piece of spaghetti or a cocktail stick into the body and then insert the head on top. But just make sure if you're making it for somebody that you tell them that it's there. Now I didn't do this, but I am adding a little bit of edible glue because clear alcohol is not really going to be sticky enough for this. And then I'm just going to pop that into position. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it for a little while to dry. So once the head is in position and it's all dry, then you can carry on and do the feathers on the top of the head. Okay, so to make the feathers, I've just taken some small pieces of yellow modelling paste and forming them into a diamond shape. I'm going to make 3 of them. And then once they're all ready, I'm just going to take my Dresden tool and mark a line down the middle and then some little ones coming off at an angle. And I'm just going to go around the edge and just roughen it up so it looks like a feather. I hope you can see that there. So I'm just going to do all 3 of the feathers at the same time. And do make sure you check out the description, because I'll put lots more information and advice in there in how to make this little Easter chick. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next tutorial. Okay, so we're just going to pop these into position. You may find that your paste is sticky enough and you don't need to add any glue, but if you do, then just do. And you can pop these into any position that you want them to be. So I'm just popping them on the top of the head there. And then once I'm happy, I'm going to add my bow. Now for this I'm going to use my pink modelling paste, and I've got 2 balls of the same size and then a smaller ball, which you can see there. So the larger balls, I'm just going to form them into a flat triangle. Make sure they're the same size before I get my Dresden tool again and just mark another line in there. And now I'm just going to pinch the pointed end together and then just use the other end of the Dresden tool just to make that curved. Okay, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick my bow into position. So I'm going to go where those 3 feathers join together in the middle, and I'm going to put the bow on top. So the 2 triangle bits gone first, and then I'm just going to stick the little ball in the middle. And there we go. Alright, so lastly I'm just making 3 like little teardrop shapes of yellow modelling paste, just to put on the other side of the bow for an extra added touch. So just apply a little bit of clear alcohol with my brush and then pop them into position. Okay, there's the second one. And now just going to put the last one into position. Okay, so once they're all secure, you can adjust your bow and the feathers to any way that you want. I decided just to twist that a little bit and then just peek those little big feathers up again. And there we go. So that's your baby chick cake topper made. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Please do check out my other ones. Please comment, like and subscribe for more, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.